I'm Rocky Kraft. I'm the new principal of Letcher Elementary School, and this is Donna Mason. She's a reading recovery interventionist. We have several of the other members back there. We have Marianne, who's a writing specialist, Michelle Robinson. She works with Frisk. We have Stephanie Nichols, who made this awesome-looking poster right here that I think, and she teaches with special needs. And then we also have our guidance counselor, Amy Bates. What we decided is when I'm a new principal there, and we're talking with the principal, the former principal, and looking at the data, looking at observations, we noticed that the teachers, they had the targets on the board. They were working not only harder, but they were working smarter as well. So everything seemed to be in place, but the problem was the school scores themselves were not moving like we would like to see. And so after doing many classroom observations and talking with the teachers and looking, we decided that the problem was they have the targets, they have the formatives, the children are engaged, but one of the problems is what happens whenever we give the formative assessments. It may be tomorrow before we address those. Because we're so busy, we give the exit at the end, we don't have time to address. And so what we're trying to target is something that's called specific corrective immediate feedback. And so what we want to do is whenever we're teaching, whatever it might be, that we don't wait until tomorrow, but immediately give the feedback and correct the action at that point. That's easier said than done, because what happens is if it's anywhere from the beginning of class towards the end of the class, you have time. But at the end of the class, you may not have enough time to do that. So what we've asked them to do is come up with a way that we can try to change a couple of things. We're an ACT school, which is activating catalytic transformation. And so what we believe is going to happen, we literally believe that we're going to do exactly what that says. We believe it's going to catch on at our school, it's going to be like wildfire, and our school is going to be at the top, and we truly believe that, and that's what we're working towards. And so what we have is right here, our problem of practice is our teachers do not provide specific immediate corrective feedback. As a result, our students are not making significant academic improvements. This is inhibiting us from reaching proficiency. Our theory of action is we will develop an instrument for specific immediate corrective feedback in order to allow teachers to effectively use data so that students will perform at proficiency or higher. And so when we were looking at our scores, one of the things that we noticed is that our writing, right here, if you'll hold that right there so it don't move things, our writing is actually higher than the state, but it's lower than the school district. So it's a double-edged sword. On one side, you're doing better than the state, which is awesome. On the other side, you're doing less than the district. So we can show improvement, but also we can use it as a wonderful asset or tool. And so what we're going to do is one of the things we're going to try to do is we're going to use journals. And in our journal, one of the things we want to do is we want to use writing every day, every class period, every subject, is before they leave, these children have to journal a summary of what they did. Then they also have to put in what they knew or did not know and what they would like to know. And then we're going to use live scoring for a lot of it. So the teachers will literally go by and look, quickly read. We don't want any more than 2 or 3 lines, if needed more. And as they do that, then the teachers will have an awesome idea at that point of where the students are and what they need to address. In that notebook, we're going to put other tools that they can use to try to reach that and correct that. And so we're coming together as a group, as an ACT and an admin team to pull all this together. And so we're believing that by writing, we know that according to Hattie, it takes it to the highest level of learning and retention and understanding. And so therefore, we believe by doing this, we're going to be able to see our scores rise and improve greatly. So that's what we're hoping for.
Yes. And he mentioned Hattie's research, and he also is very big on the corrective positive feedback, and I don't have to explain that to you all. You all are all educators, and you know what that is. But sometimes it's hard. It's, like, hey, Johnny, I like your story today, and that's it. But that's not going to kids. We have to teach these kids to have a self-extending system. They've got to be able to reflect on their learning, and sometimes it's a trial and error thing. And so that's what we're hoping to do, and being more specific with our feedback, and then getting them to reflect on their learning as well.
Good. So whenever I became principal in August, we had an interim principal, Mr. Isaac, appreciate him, and long-term educator. And by probably a month after I became principal, we were on our 4th schedule. Yeah, I know that makes you really popular with teachers when you're going back and forth. But what we had to do is we had to change those schedules over and over till it fit the needs of the students. And so thanks to Miss Bates back there working and us working together, we built 2 RTI periods in, one in the morning, one in the evening. And we're also looking at using our library time as well. And all this will be used towards writing and teaching these children how to reflect and how to respond in writing to the needs that they have and understanding they have, so we'll know more about it. So hopefully by the time you see us in the spring, map testing will be even higher than what it is at this point. And by this time next year, if everything goes well, we're expecting to be a school of proficiency or higher